Hi everyone, this is Mike Heydrich. I'm going to do a walk around of the mill today so I can show folks the parts in the electronics cabinet. First I'll jog. I got the pendant hooked up today as well as I got the VFD cable through the controller. So here's the jog. X negative. There's X positive. Note that the movement's based on the tool, not on the table. Center that back up. There's Y negative, Y positive. Table's a 10 by 50. There's a spindle. It's a hardened chrome spindle. There's the variable frequency drive powering up. That's 60 Hertz at 10 seconds, which is the default setting. Right now I've got it set on about 2150 RPM. Speed range is 60 RPM to 500 in the low range and 500 to 4250 in the high range. It's in the high range right now. Control the Hertz rating right off the spindle. This is the spindle here. If you want to see that. I can also go counterclockwise. You see the spindle rotating, reversing direction. And we'll go back to full speed again. Alright, we'll fire that now. Okay, we'll do a walk around the actual mill. There's the Z-axis sim servo motor, Hindelheim encoder. You can see the 3 horsepower motor on top. It's a movable turret. So there's the entire turret. There's the base. You can see the auto lube pump for all the ways is down there. I still need to figure out the connections on it to get it hooked up. There's another angle of the table. X-axis motor. There's the knee down there, and you can see the handle reverse mounted right now. This is all the ball screws are 5 turns per inch. These are 1-inch ball screws, 1-inch diameter. You can see the limit switches, and there's also another switch in there. Right over here is the switch and there's the handle for the speed. This will change from high to low gear on this switch here. There's the mist cooling nozzle, as well as the handle to turn that on. This is the monitor electronics cabinet. I've got a 15-inch touchscreen monitor that I mounted in there. Keyboard's on here too. It's a wireless keyboard. This little device there is a gigabit bricks Intel 3270 or 3227 chip, 16 gigs of memory and a 128 gig solid state hard drive, as well as a gigabit NIC and a wireless adapter in there. There is the Ajax pendant. We'll go around the machine. There's the steel arm that goes to the cabinet. And then this is the new layout of my AjaxCNC controller that I recently retrofitted this machine with. You can see the capacitor in there. There's the Hitachi WJ200 variable frequency drive, 2.2 kilowatt, 3 horsepower. There's two 220 volt single phase to 110 and 79 volt transformers. There's an outlet box I connected up to run for an extension cord inside of the monitor cabinet. And there's all my contactors. The lower one will be for the mist cooling. It's not hooked up. These two here are for, they're cabled up for e-stop control, so when the e-stop's pressed, let's see if I can reach that here. You see those pop. I'm going to turn on the e-stop, gets those recontacted. There's some other terminal blocks. Down here is a 37 pin breakout board that I used for the encoders because I didn't want to lose the nice wiring that was already part of the original Dynapath Delta 20 controls. That's a 24 volt power supply. And fuse blocks, original. And the current through door disconnect that needs to be replaced. Anyways, one last shot of the cabinet. Shut that off. There's the back of the machine. Temporarily mounted a fan in there. That's just a puck light, just so I could see inside the cabinet. Down there's the access hole for the coolant. Again, you can see the handle for the movable turret, as well as the rod for the mist cooling. One last shot of the back of the mill. Here's my Joe CNC that I built. It's a cast CNC setup from Harry's cast aluminum carriages. It's got a few things on it. And there's also a fill extruder I'm building for my 3D printing. Alright everybody, thanks again. And we'll see you later when I get more of this built.